Hey, all, Brad back with another video. This one's a little different than usual. I was on eBay. I always keep an eye out for parts and, you know, scarce boards, blaster boards, or Inferno or something like that. So I have a bunch of searches. As you know, I repair a lot of boards and I go through a lot of components. So I'm always looking for NOS components, 3M ribbon cables, and 6821s or whatever it may be, some 4116 RAM. So I have some searches saved out there. So I had a result come up from a guy. It had a labeled pinball part, something like that, and things appeared to be like in a shoebox, and he had four different lots, all listed separately. Each one, the starting bid was like 50 bucks for, plus $13 for shipping or something like that, and looking through a couple of them, had some interesting parts, and I definitely saw some proms that looked like they were already, the program read-only memory. Typically, they're only programmable one time. So once someone programs them, they can't be reused again unless you have something for that exact application, that the code that's stored on there. So, but I saw some program ones. I'm like, oh, I wonder if those are like for pinball, some hard-coded proms for different things. Um, and then I saw some other ICs, some AY 8910s, some audio ICs that are pretty desirable. I use them on Moon Patrol, and there's a few other applications. Anyway, it looked like it was worth getting, so I messaged the guy out, through eBay, saying, hey, would you be willing to take these four lots and bundle them together? I'll offer 150 plus shipping. So he accepted and created a new auction, even relabeled it with my name, and he combined. He actually only charged me the one shipping fee, the $13, which I thought was nice. Anyway, what I have on my bench is that box. I haven't opened it yet. Again, I only saw some pictures that were pretty scarce. So let me switch over to the cam here on my bench. So um, I've got a little razor knife here. I'm going to open it up, and we'll see what's in this box together. Oh boy, packing peanuts, my nemesis. Well, it looks like we have some boxes. He shipped them in the boxes that they were listed in the ad, which is kind of nice. So looks like there's two boxes per layer here. I guess what I'll do is I'll pull one out at a time and we'll open it up and see what's inside of them. So let me try to get this box top opened here, get this positioned. So here's box one. This is like let's see what it says, if there's anything on it. So this says ICs one. I don't know if he wrote that or if, wherever they came from was on it. Oh wow. So a lot of ICs in here. So this one is filled with static RAMs, it looks like 58725. These are 2K RAMs. I use a lot of these. Moon Patrol, they use a couple of these on Sinistar on the ROM board. It might be some different, yeah, there's some Toshibas in here too, I think maybe. Something like that. There's got to be, I don't know how many's in this envelope, but there's got to be 50, 100, yeah. These are 2128s, same thing, kind of the 2016 2048 by 8, I think they are, SRAM. Wow, there's got to be 50, I don't know, 100 maybe in there, a lot. Yeah, here's 2128s, same. And he's got a couple cross references on here on the envelope. Let me put it that way. I'm not sure which way you guys are looking here. Some cross references. Static RAM, 150 nanosecond access time. Great. Those are basically, looks to me like overflow from that first envelope. Here is 4116s. Wow. So he's got it labeled here 211. Maybe I'll turn it this way: 2117, 8116, 4116, AM9016, TMM 416, and all the different variants of different manufacturers. But there's probably 100 in there as well. That looks like the same one. I'll definitely use those. Here's some loose ICs in the box here. I probably won't go through those with you. Here is a whole nother package of what he's got listed as the 2114 as well. So these are, yeah. 2114. Not sure what the 2114. These are static RAM, 4K RAM. The reason I don't recognize them is I don't think Williams uses these, so I'm kind of out of my element with that. I better get moving on these. Darlington array, some diodes in here. Oh no, these are Darlington ICs and a 16-pin dip here. There's only 3 components in there. CMOS 2053, analog to digital A to D converter, 8-bit MPU, ADC 804. I'm sure some of you guys with Atari or some of these analog, there's a couple in here. They appear to be brand new. 7-segment secondary driver for gas-filled displays. So probably 10 ICs in there. This guy, whoever had these was positive voltage regulator adjustable, LM305. There's a couple different part number variants on here. These are little, I forgot what the name of this package is, but I don't really have a use for these guys with anything I do. DC dual bidirectional motor driver. I think these 1890, these numbers in this upper left corner he's used as some sort of reference for himself. I don't think that, well, some of them there are definitely the part number. Pulse width modulator, DC motor drive. Again, these all have components in them. We have dual op amp, TV tuner band selector. There's only a few components in each one of these. Preamplifier, TV remote control signal amp. Sheesh. IF. Oh boy, that's kind of feels like a heavy. Oh, those are TO220 package. TDA 2003. Oh, these are audio amplifiers, I believe. Are they 5-pin? Yeah, these are audio amps. There's a half a dozen TDA 2003s in there. The Williams came with 2002s. I think those are the same, just a little extra wattage maybe. Power amplifier 51516. VCC 13.2, 5 watt. Another one. Again, these are ICs here. HA11462 horizontal TV horizontal oscillator. Interesting. I will never use those, I'm sure. Some of these packages are pretty heavy. TDA 2002. Here's a big package of audio amps. I'll let you guys look into there. It's pretty full. Looks like there's some used ones in there. Some of the gold ones too. Some of the early ones. Looks like someone straightened all the legs and everything and put some effort. So I've got to believe they're probably good. No one's going to go through all that effort on the used ones if they're not working. Low noise, high gain preamp, some sort of analog components, modulator, IF, FM, multi SD mixer, more IF components. Again, loose ICs, mostly new. TMM314L, so that's one of those 2114s. And then we get into LS series. These are, 74LS27, kind of the standard digital logic gauge in the LS series. 7474, those are useful. 107s, 139s, I use that. 163, that's probably a counter or something. Binary counter, yep. 174 is a hex D type D flip flop. 244, oh boy, I use a lot of the 244s. Yeah, it's probably, I don't know, 40, 50 in there. 368 as a inverting buffer. 374, I use a lot of these on the Williams boards. 367, use those. Those are just buffers, hex buffers. They usually isolate the CPU through these 367s. 245s, use a lot of those. It's an SO4. I'm not really big on the S series. 7404 is just an inverting buffer as well, hex. 287. Oh, so here we go. 82S123. Three-state prom. So here's the big question. Are these new or are these used? Because these things run, you know, 10 bucks a piece or something. Trying to see if they have any part numbers on them. I'll just have to check and see if they're blank or not. There's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 20 of them in there or so, I'd say. I don't know why you'd keep proms if you didn't, you know, they weren't clear. Either they need to be clearly labeled what's on them, or they're junk. Because once they're programmed, they're only useful for that application. Some for a 374, 161. That's a binary counter. I use those ones too. Those are for the pseudo address bus on the Williams. 387. Frequency compensated op amp, analog component mixed in there. Precision voltage regulator. Dual op amp. I don't know what that one is. Another, here we go, 74S472. This is a 4K prom with a tri-state output, and there are 2 pieces in this envelope, and it's written the part number by hand, different manufacturers. Again, I'll have to dump them and see what's on there. So that's box 1. This video is going to end up being pretty darn long, unfortunately, with my long-winded opening, and then I'm going to close up this box, I think, to set these on top and give you a little better camera angle here, maybe. So we're on to box number 2. What are these? Maybe this is an easy one. Oh, no, these are, no idea. 40-pin ICs. Let me look first. AMIs. 805. I'm really not sure on these. There's 20 of them in this envelope. Not sure what it is. Oh, here's a more 82S147. Those are there's one in here. That's a bipolar prom as well. 82S153. Quite a few in here. This is another bipolar. Based on some of the writing here, it's got Midway 1985 written on it. I guess I'll probably, there's a bunch of these too. So these are some sort of pinball or game or something. Midway, what year was on that one? I mean, these could be from Y unit boards if they're Midway even. Yeah, I'll definitely dump these against MAME and see what's out there. 401. One IC in a package here. It's an MMI part. It's probably a prom as well. I'm guessing that these part numbers may be Midway part numbers or somebody. That's the part number for what's on the IC. So 8 position dip switches, a whole pack of those. SC01, SC01A. I wonder if these are those. Yeah, they are. Here's those. Looks like there's 4 of them in here. These are those speech chips, I believe. I think they use it on SC01s, maybe on. I can't think of the name of the game. Qbert, maybe. There's a couple different varieties there. Let me. They look like legit deals. So there's 4 SC01s. So that's making the payoff on this thing a little better if they're good. I think I have a tester for those too. MMI stuff typically is going to be proms from what I've seen. That looks like a prom. Here's more 82S090. I don't know what this is. MRJ, one IC. Another one. Here is, this is labeled 8028, 8032, 33, and then some other cross-reference numbers. Looks to be a 24-pin 0.6 package, probably some sort of SRAM maybe. I'm not sure on that one. Again, outside of the Williams world, arcade world specifically, I get kind of ignorant quickly. I'm out of my depth on some of this stuff. But again, oh, there's a 40-pin something here. AMI part, which I've never been super impressed with. I see a lot of failures in their 6821 PIAs, and they made some 6808 MPUs they use on the soundboard, and I've seen a lot of failures. ADCs. So that side is not much over there. HM4394. That sounds like an SRAM. There's one component in there. 8008. It's a 24-pin dip, 0.6 wide, not sure what it is. I want to say the part number feels familiar, but another single HM4334, some sort of RAM maybe. 4118, that's probably some sort of RAM. That's a 24-pin dip. 4015, 3888. I'm just kind of flipping through these. MB series 3730, which is also an 8308. MB 3730 in another envelope. 3530, 34Y 3014. No, I thought this might have been one of those Yamaha chips. It's a little 8-pin dip package. Not sure what that is. Yeah, here's a YM3012. One component. I bet this is Yamaha. Maybe that other one was too. Yeah, this is a Yamaha component. I use these on the Smash TV. The Y unit soundboards use that Yamaha unit. So got one of those. Oh boy, here's a bunch of 40-pin dips again. AMI C92. I'm not sure these 40 pins. I need to do a little deep dive, and they look like they might be customs though. Oh, these are proms here. Or static RAM. One's in a ceramic 2804 AD, 2719, 2650. Yeah, these are RAMs, I think. 2212, 2151, 2148. 2148. Oh, there's quite a few in here. Yeah, those are RAM. I think 2125 for sure. I've used these. I think Moon Patrol and a few others use that. 2125. Boy, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, cross-reference to. Here's some cross-reference numbers on that. Wow, these are all ceramic. Real nice. 2114s, more of those. Boy, you got a bunch of those. 2101s. I've had to buy these before for, I think I worked on a, same brand. I worked on a Cloak and Dagger Atari board, which is, they made a kit for Williams games, so I somehow landed one of those, and it had one of these 2101s bad. So there looks like there's 2, 4, 6, 7 of them in there. A 2063, and boy, oh wow, these are that GI brand. ER2055. These look like General Instrument. There's a bunch of them in there too, and I know I use these brand for those AY8910, 8910As. Maybe somebody knows what these are. They're labeled 2055. ER2055. Oh, it's an EA ROM, I think. Interesting. Those are Atari specific, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them in there, something like that. Okay, so that's box 2. Got a couple more to go here. Apologize if this is going slow. Maybe you're enjoying it. Maybe you're just like, come on, get to the good stuff. This box is labeled ICs 40. Here comes the lid. Oh boy. This one strikes me right away. There's a whole bunch of 40 pins in here. Let's see what they are. It's labeled Z80. Wow. Yeah, NECs. I see some ceramics in here too. Let's see what this guy is. That's a ceramic one, a Z-Log ceramic. There's quite a few of them in here too. So here's a whole bag of Z80 CPUs. A couple look like poles, but a couple look brand new. There's a couple strings down here that look really nice. I don't know how many's in there. Quite a few. There's the nice ceramic guy there. Let me turn it. I think we've all agreed that the orientation should probably be this way. Z80A CPU. So I know there is a prefix or suffix on the CPU that indicates its speed rating. I think they made like a 1 megahertz and a 3 megahertz. I'm going to turn this box around so the numbers are facing me. And we might as well go through this. There's Z80B, a couple in there. Huh, more Z80s. MC154514, one IC in there. This one is, I'm guessing these are, I don't know what these are. There's a bunch of different numbers here crossed over. I'm guessing these are some sort of midway part numbers or something like that. Here is a bunch of 40 pins, 6845. I'm not sure. That's a 68 series. Here are 93422 PC, which is the same as 93422. So these are, I think these are static RAMs here, like the 5101 maybe, or 50, the same as the Williams Defender uses these for the CMOS RAM, I think. 93422, that looks familiar. 93419, more RAM. 76489. This one's got some question marks on it, but there's only a few parts in here. Oh, some gold pinned ICs in here. Motorola parts. 74154. I use a lot of the 153s. I'm not sure. This is just TTL stuff mixed in. Oh no. Oh, 154 is address decoder. Yeah, I use those for addressing like the EPROMs they use that. 44216, 44067. There's some other numbers over here. SC numbers prefixing it. And HD 1024. Wow, these are 40 pin components too. These are CO12294-03. I wonder if these are, these look like pokies. I don't know the numbers well enough on the pokies. Here's an AMI part. They sure look like the, of course I'm going to get it just to the point where it won't focus right. Everyone's like, stay still. Anyway, not sure what these are, but there's 2, 4, 6, 7 of them, something like that in here. This was the part number labeled. Maybe pokies, I don't know. Maybe some other 40 pin contraption. 9218, here's an AM9128. There's a bunch of them in here. These are AM9218. These are 24 pin dip ICs, I think. I'm not sure what they are, but they look nice. AM9114, AM9101, 9008. There's one. There's definitely some custom chips in these containers. SA9007. There's another envelope with a bunch of them in there. SA9007. Not sure. Again, these look like a 24 pin. That's a Motorola part. 58. Oh, he's the 58907 is, I think, might be a custom part number that Williams somebody used possibly. 9003. These might just be proms. 8451. 8332. It says 8006 on it. Yeah, these are, I think these are, what do we call them, mask ROMs. So I'm guessing that that number may very well be something from Pinball or something like that, some sort of mask ROM that was already coded. 16LN8. These are new, whatever they are. It's a PAL. Not sure. 8320. So again, it's probably a security chip or something. It's a PAL. It's already programmed, I'm guessing. D8279, whatever this is. There's a bunch of them. These are 40 pin Intel. Yep, D8279s. Two ceramics and one, three ceramics. Oh, here we go. These are the ones I saw in the picture. So these are the AY-3-8910s. These are hard to source. Well, trying to find stuff that's not out of China with these guys. These are definitely legit old school. So there's two here. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of these at least in here. There's a pretty big container of them. So these I use for sure. Real happy to see that. Again, HD. Here's another PAL. Oh no, that's a 40 pin. NEC. D8257C. I think we went through those guys already. This is all the RAMs. So that's box 3. Nothing super exciting. I mean, those 8910s for me pretty much cover the cost. Those are not cheap getting NOS parts. Again, I need to go through and test this stuff and sort it, but the stuff I don't really use for Williams, I'll probably, I'll make a list of what I have and put it aside, and if somebody needs it, they'll reach out. 5162, let's see here. These are 40 pin. It says 5164, 5162, 5164. They're 40 pin. I'm guessing, again, some sort of security chip. They look maybe Atari-ish. TMS 5220s. These are 28 pin, probably RAM. 5640. TC 5501. I think that's 5501. I think these are RAM, SRAM, some sort. 6148 is RAM for sure. 6116. That's 5 component 616. That's a 2K as well, I think. 6301s. 6301. I think 6301s are bipolar proms. Same as the 123s. 63. 6532. MC6850. I've used those. I think that's an asynchronous serial bus interface. 7055 PC. Again, these have anywhere from 1 or 2 ICs to being loaded. Here's a BR7737. It's a 40 pin. It's a Motorola part. So again, this might be a custom for a Midway, or boy, the focus on this thing is not stellar. Here's another, bunch of 40 pins here. These definitely look Atari to me. Maybe they've got the C012294-03. There's 1, 2, 4, 5 of these in here. 8022 is one chipped. Again, this one looks like maybe a bipolar that was, or a mask ROM. 93168. These probably, those are probably mask ROMs as well. Well, here's a bunch of 40 pins. D8035LC. Maybe a CPU of some sort. I'm not sure on that one. AMI 8216. Another 40 pin job. 6808. That's interesting. That's a 6808 CPU. I was just talking about that on the soundboards for the Williams uses that. Oh, this is an interesting one. MMI. Midway, it says on it again. So again, another Midway component. So there's definitely something MMI CG. This is again, these MMI components are going to be bipolars that are more than likely already coded. 8207. Here's some more 40 pins AMIs. What's this one? MMI. More proms. Proms. Oh, this is heavy. Wow, these are 40 pins. There's 10 or more in here. Let me see. Here's some ceramic ones. Not sure what this guy is. Might be a custom. I'm not sure, but there's a bunch of them in here. 8116, 8115s, AMI, DAX. Oh, these are 40 pins. 8037s, AMI 8044. Well, most of these look like these 40 pin jobs here. Okay. 8107 DAC, digital analog converter maybe. Not sure. Here's the package for it though. Anyway, and there's other loose components in this box down here. Stragglers in there. NEC 8035. I think we saw that one. So might have spilled over, or maybe this guy, as he got more stuff, just didn't want to take the time to put it away, so he just dropped it in the box. There's all kinds of these. Again, look like mask ROMs with silver legs. They're kind of oxidized. They still look viable. So anyway, that's the haul. 150 bucks for all the stuff I paid. $13 shipping, so 165, maybe closer to 170 with tax, right? So I got a lot of stuff. Definitely some useful stuff here. Those Z80s, those AY3s are huge. Some of the 4016 RAM, I've got probably a couple hundred of those. Got those speech chips, those SCO1s. Just to, random TTL are always useful. And it looks like the audio amps I can use. There's quite a few things in here that I can use. Some of these 6116, the 2K RAMs, and then once I go through some of these midway parts, and maybe I'll dump a few and see if they line up in MAME and go from there. So anyway, I'm going to call the video here because it's probably getting ridiculously long, and we'll catch you at the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.